want to talk about another item in the news, the impending indictment of James Comey, former FBI director who, depends who you talk to, is the one who is Trump's biggest enemy, or maybe the one who helped elect President Trump the first time around. Coming from the Democratic side of the aisle, think that Trump should probably give Comey a gift basket rather than an indictment. But here we are. And now it looks like, and by the time this is broadcast, he could be indicted already. And people think that this is an example of out-of-control prosecutors. Well, let me tell you, someone who was a prosecutor for, at least state attorney for 12 years and a prosecutor for longer, there are limits. There are guardrails in place. And the out-of-control prosecutors are limited by the fact that first you have to go through a grand jury. You got to show probable cause that someone committed a crime. And that grand jury, although people say that a grand jury can indict a ham sandwich, it's so easy for prosecutors just to roll over these grand jurors. Those folks haven't been in front of a grand jury, especially nowadays when you're in the CSI era and everyone wants the DNA evidence or the video, and you have to sometimes convince a skeptical grand jury. But assuming you can get it through a grand jury, then you've got to show enough evidence for a judge to keep the case going. A judge can just dismiss it because there's a motion to dismiss out there and you just don't have the goods. And so the judge is another defense mechanism here. And then you've got jurors. And the only thing predictable about juries is that they're unpredictable. And juries want real evidence. Prosecutors have to prove a case beyond a reasonable doubt. And especially when you have President Trump out there saying, let's go after these folks, that could lead to what we call vindictive prosecution or selective prosecution. And a judge can just say, you can't do this. We're not even going to send this case to the jury. So there's a lot of mechanisms in place. And if you think that prosecutors have unlimited jurisdiction, talk to Mike Nifong, who is the Duke lacrosse prosecutor, because he trumped up, no pun intended, a case against the Duke lacrosse team. He had his bar license revoked. He was disgraced, and he actually had to serve a day in jail. So I leave you with this. Although it's true you can beat the rap, but you can't beat the ride, there is still a lot of guardrails in place to protect against unwarranted and unjustified prosecutions.